Hello, welcome back to the channel. Delighted to see you again. So this is another one of my videos, Pike and Shotte Epic Battles Pusher Pike. As you can see, I've been painting this up. You might have seen a couple of my other videos where I talk about what I've been doing with it, and I think I show off the cavalry and infantry. Well, now I've finished my first wave. Going into 2024, I'm planning painting for 4 weeks. I'll have a project on for 4 weeks, set myself some goals and achieve it. And what I've achieved in this 4 weeks I'm about to show you is 4 sprues of infantry, 3 sprues of cavalry, and that's going to represent about half of the force I'm going to paint up for Parliament. I'm going to do the same for Royalists, Covenanters and Montrose, and have the armies done roughly about that size. They come in about 1,000 points. Be quite a nice amount of elements to fight a battle with on the tabletop. But anyway, enough of the introduction. We're here to see some miniatures. Let's look at some miniatures. So I'm going to pick up the camera and show the 4 so far. So this is based around Parliament, but there's not much difference so far between what I've done. So this is the kind of infantry battalion in the middle, cavalry, which I've shown off on before, and dragoons. So what I've done for this is my first time painting some Pike and Shotte regiments. I wanted to try pretty much all the primary colours. So I've done a yellow, red and blue regiment, and also done a green jacketed regiment. And I think they've come up lovely. I've really enjoyed painting these. The only thing left to do, you'll see some of the bases have got tufts on, some haven't. I've run out of the tufts. You know what, when I get the tufts, it's a 20-minute job to finish tufting them. A couple of flags on each one as well. I've just gone with the flags which I thought fitted. I've not really tried to recreate any particular regiment or formation. My commanders on round bases, what I've done, traditionally I use tuppence pieces. What I've actually done is gone for slightly larger than tuppence base, just get a bit of space on the bases there. But I think I've showed off the infantry before, and the cavalry. Because I've only done 3 sprues of cavalry, I've only got 1 stand of cuirassiers so far, but I will only ever have 1 regiment, so that's 15 cuirassiers, and that'll be for the parliamentarian force. And again, because it was a first attempt, I've done 1 regiment that looks a lot more cavalier with the hats, and 1 regiment that looks a lot more parliamentarian with the helmets. My future regiments, I think I'm going to mix them up a bit more and show them up. Maybe do another sort of regimented helmet looking a bit more like Parliament, but the rest will be a bit more mixed, I think. Okay, so that's the stuff I think I've shown off before. One of the other things I painted up there is Commanded Shotte. So in the description of Commanded Shotte, these were described as musketeers, which are kind of loaned from regiments, put together for specific tasks, often to support cavalry, sometimes to kind of operate with artillery. So what I've done with them is, as you can see, I've painted yellow, green, red and blue jackets representing troops which have come forward from this battalion. As you can see, I've got 3 stands, and you only need 2 stands to make a Commanded Shotte unit. So in my next sprue, what I'll do is make another stand with these jackets, and the other Commanded Shotte from that for the battalion will match the jackets of that battalion. For my Parliament regiments, I'm going to favour kind of more red, and for my Royalists, I'm going to favour more blue jackets. That's, I think, how I'm going to mix it up. There was a bit of head scratching for us to work out what was Commanded Shotte, what were dragoons, and actually the dragoons have boots on. The Commanded Shotte kind of have the socks on, and that's how I kind of worked out what was what. And actually in this scale I've mixed up a couple just for a variety of poses, and painted up some socks to look like boots. But that was my Commanded Shotte. So the artillery, the ordnance, so you got light guns and you got heavier field pieces. Now one of the things I've done here is that there were no kind of standardisation of artillery that I'm aware of. There would have been a bit, but it wasn't massive across armies. So I've wanted to paint the guns different colours to represent that. The artillery was almost ad hoc for forces. And uniforms, my understanding is there weren't that many regiments of artillery, so the gunners were kind of wearing their own clothes, so I wanted to represent that in their colours. Certainly if I find out some different stuff or some different specific regiments, I'll adopt that into future painting projects. Now comes my dragoons. So I was ooming and ahhing about how I wanted to do my dragoons, whether I wanted them to infantry and cavalry bases, mix them up or other. So as you can see, I have mixed them up. So I've got footer mounted on the base. I think I've mentioned this in many videos. One of the things I've done is cavalry I've mounted on bigger bases than infantry. For the command stands as well, I've mounted those on bigger bases as well. And I've done the same with the dragoons. One of the things I want to do when I look across a table is easily see what was what. So if I had small units mounted on strips a la the commanded shot, it might be getting mixed up in the heat of battle, especially when you're controlling sort of 15, 16 different units. So by mounting them on bigger bases and putting the cavalry models on the base with the infantry, it means when I look across the battlefield, I can see that these are dragoons. When they're formed up, they can form up like that, infantry deployed. And when they're mounted, maybe have them formed up like that to indicate they're mounted. I'll see how it goes with games. What else about the dragoons? There was something else about the dragoons. Can't remember what it was now. But yeah, oh yes, so obviously out the 3 bases, out the 3 sprues, I managed to get 5 bases. You get 3 sprues per base. Start again, 3 bases per regiment, and I've got 5 bases, so I'm one short of 2 regiments or units. So what I'm going to be doing is my next set of cavalry I'll paint up 1 dragoon. My plan for the army is to have 2 units of dragoons, approximately 8 units of infantry, a couple of units of the guns. Each battalion will have about at least 1 unit commanded shot, and I'll have 4 units of cavalry. And the parliamentarian force will have a unit of cuirassiers. Got plans like the royalists will have some white jackets, Newcastle's unit, maybe some Cornish troops. I know they never fought in the same army, but I'll be able to interchange them. Seen the royalist army fight differently with some units which are just pike and some units which are just muskets. Will help change up the forces a bit. And obviously the Scots will look completely different, and obviously the Montrose have got Highlanders as well. But anyway, this is me showing off 4 weeks worth of work. Really happy it's done, really delighted with how it looks. I'm looking forward to what I'm going to do next, which is going to be samurai. But anyway, I hope you're having a great time with your hobby at the moment, and I look forward to chatting to you again in the future. I'll see you later. Bye bye.